Hello there.
Bird in flight and swift in diving for its prey. But the peculiar structure of its body prevents it from making a perfect landing. During the nesting period, great numbers congregate on certain isolated islands. This island alone, more than 6,000 come annually. Some trick of nature, it appears that a perfectly good goose ought to wear a long beak sporting a fishnet. Soon these young will reach adulthood, and like their parents, will lift their heavy bodies from their perches, and after several rapid strokes of their wings, level off in an environment that they are fitted.
Itchy! I was just lurking on your stream while I was out in the kitchen. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Itchy. How are you doing? How was the Dead by Daylight? Did you come in 5 minutes ago? I am terribly sorry. I am back. I've got 10 minutes exactly as of right now, 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. At 10 past 11, I'm running back out there and checking on everything. I've left my potatoes on a lower heat than I normally cook at, so hopefully they cook through fine. If not, I could just leave them for like an extra 5 minutes or something. But how is everyone? Welcome in. Oh well, got a raid off. Satisfied. I plead the fifth. I'm not reading that out loud. When you do see this, you're pretty tired heading out. Hope you have a lovely rest of your stream. I will. We're going back to try part 2 of Kingdom Come Deliverance. Do you... Oh... Oh no. This game required funny stuff to get working. Kill it. Okay, so the funny stuff to get working means I have to kill the Skatebird soundtrack, I have to mute myself, and I have to put all of my desktop audio onto Stream Elements. Onto OBS rather. So it's a fix. Not a good fix, but it's a fix. Once the game has started, because the problem is caused by certain programs only ever using default audio output. Stream does not hear default audio output because that's my headphones. My headphones hear everything on my desktop. You guys don't. You guys hear 2 audio feeds and my microphone, and then whatever music I have a whimsy to put on the stream. So the fix is change the default output to the stream, which means you hear everything. Every creak, every chair noise. In fact, ooh, it's a little louder, but this is it. This is my desktop audio. Yes, I can hear myself 24/7. No, don't ask me why I decided to do that and never change it away. I recommend you try it for yourself and trying to keep a sentence flowing normally. If you ever loop the audio for your microphone back into your headphones or your speakers, you will talk over yourself and it is absolutely terrible. You will slur your words, you will go, but it's a challenge. I recommend it. Loop your audio back to yourself and try and talk over yourself. At this point though, I could tab back and put it back to the regular audio feed. I could give you a chair creak.
Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had a long and successful reign.
Ooh,
the Empire
it might pause.
he ruled from Prague expanded. And
Okay.
his subjects lived in peace.
Terrible
and
audio
prosperity.
fixed. Now the only terrible audio that's that loud is the game. But
When the emperor died, the whole empire mourned.
what did I have to do
More
now?
than 7,000 people accompanied
Did I
him on
have
his
to do
last
something?
procession.
I don't remember.
The heir to the throne
I've
of the
got 2
flourishing
hours
empire
left
was
before I
Charles's
have to
son,
do anything else, so
Wenceslas IV.
I'm just gonna chill in
His
Kingdom Come
father had
Deliverance.
prepared
I'm
him
sorry, I'm
for
talking
this
over the cutscene
moment
because I
all
already
his
saw this
life.
earlier today.
But Wenceslas did not take after his father.
I'll be back.
He neglected affairs of state for more frivolous pursuits. He even failed to turn up for his own coronation as emperor, which did little to endear him to the Pope. Wenceslas the Idle did not impress the imperial nobility either. His difficulties mounted until the nobles, exasperated by the inaction of their ruler, turned for help to his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary. Sigismund decided on a radical solution. He kidnapped the king to force him to abdicate, then took advantage of the ensuing disorder to gain greater power for himself. He invaded Bohemia with a massive army and began pillaging the territories of the king's allies. It is here that my story begins.
And I'm back. I forgot to oil my pan, so my pork loin was dry frying in marinade. Well, I suppose that doesn't technically make it a dry fry, but the marinade was just burning. So I added a little oil. Hopefully that is it. And jump into the game. I am gonna go back and turn caves off. We don't need back. Right. Where did we lead off? So, Leyline 5, hardcore save. We had an exit save at unexpected visit, which I will have to load. The way the exit save works, it stays there, but it cannot be manually loaded. At all. The only way, right now I've loaded the exit save. The only way to load an exit save again is from the main menu or after restarting the game. So if I want to reload this save and not lose progress, I have to quit without saving and boot the game back up again. But we left because our quest said we only had this morning to do it. I'm gonna go sword fighting lesson, and then last thing we have left is buy ale at the tavern. When we left off, we just got patched up by Ma. I came in here screaming, "Mother! Mother! I have a boo-boo!" And then Henry actually did the line, seriously, which was amusing. We have no auto walk button. That still baffles me. I swear that was in the game. Oh, the sage is back. I picked all these this morning. These flowers grow quick. Considering it's 10 AM in-game, both this morning and currently, they grew back literally instantaneously and or never left in the first place. Right, but feeling a little hungry. Need a bite to eat. Oh, we have so many apples. Oh, you're just gonna eat like 8 apples. There you go, Henry. How are we doing the stats? Resistance? No idea. That's the only stat we have. We did get beat up. We found out Henry's immortal to a certain degree at this part of the story. I let myself get beat up until I passed out. I got knocked unconscious, literally, and shrugged it off. I guess. I started like 6 fights with Kunesh to get payment for his nails and axe. So that, or it was the hammer and nails rather. The axe he also hadn't paid for, to be fair. But we needed the payment so that we could go to the charcoal burner and buy 10 charcoal for the kiln. The forge, rather. That was the whole mission. Following that, we then have to get a pint of ale? Pitcher of ale. Buy ale at the tavern. Pitcher of ale. We may not have done it the official way, but we have done everything one way or
You want to
another.
learn something?
Ooh,
No, I don't think so. Thanks.
Suit yourself.
hello.
Have you recovered from yesterday's great wound?
That was nothing. Except Mother noticed and had a word or two to say about it.
Oh,
No
good,
mother's happy
crazy.
when her son starts to take an interest in swords. Where there's weapons, there's death. The question is, what do you want?
I don't want to rot in this hole forever. I feel like I don't belong here. I want to live and see the world. The world's a dangerous place and I need to know how to protect myself.
Spoken like a man. And as it happens, today's your last chance. I have to leave. So, are you ready to get stuck in?
Yes?
All right, I'll wait on the ground by the sheepfold as usual.
This, I know it is just the combat tutorial, but it'll also showcase, through the tutorial, it'll showcase to you what I'm actually doing, because it's not super visually, and it doesn't explain visually what you need to do. If I just went in with one of my late game characters and started a fight, you would have no clue what I was doing. There's symbols and buttons on the regular game mode, but in this mode there's nothing, so you would have no indicators visually at all besides the outcome. So this would be a good way to sort of showcase a little bit of the combat, as well as bring myself up to scratch, and perhaps we can get a level or 2 on Henry's belt. Because Henry is a little terrible at swordplay, as you'll find out shortly. I'm terrible. I keep seeing Sage and picking up more and more
Don't
herbs.
drink and abstain. Drink only water and milk, or else your bones will be weak. Like in Skyrim, water is health is fucking bitch. You better drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. Drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. Drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. Drink water,
But I
drink
do
water,
honestly
drink
recommend
water,
this
bitch.
game. If you're a stickler for authentic, historic, medieval stuff, this is probably the pinnacle you could go to digitally. It's a game, yes. It's also a pain, yes. But it cannot be beat. As far as ways to live in the Middle Ages, and a rags to riches storyline to go with it, I think this has to be the absolute best there is. You have your fan. I am terribly sorry. What was that? But you have your fantasy classics like Daggerfall, which we've also been playing. You have your modern fantasy like Skyrim and Elder Scrolls Online. I think as far as anything authentic, like genuinely trying to stay true as it can in a video game to historical events and places, I think this has to be the best I've ever seen. They have a sequel coming out soon too. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I don't know what the actual title is, but that's rumored to be announced in 2023. And thank you for the hydrate, DeCrazy. I need to go check on my dinner though. I'm terribly sorry, but I am going to have to just quickly go out and check that the stove's not boiling over. And then when I get back, we'll start the combat. Slight change of plan. Terribly sorry. As it turns out, dinner is just done. It's ready to go. So I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. I just have to mash potato and plate it all, and then I won't be too long. I apologize, I wasn't expecting everything to cook that quickly. Me too. while we're on the topic of sales pitches for this game, I will have to concede two things, both the same point. It runs on CryEngine, so it is going to require a bit of beefy hardware, but it was released in 2018, so beefy for 2018 is your standard. It's surprisingly not top heavy though. Most of the game actually runs super smooth. You still will notice, even here on stream today, you will see it stutter in very specific spots, like third-person camera angles often stutter for some reason. Picking up herbs, dialogue, that sort of thing often causes a stutter. The second part you'll absolutely notice it is if we ever get to Sasau in the southwest, because that part of the map was a lot less optimized than the rest of it was, and it does run a little bit more poorly than the rest of the map does. Those are my two concessions. If you don't mind a little bit of jank though, it's a really good history piece, I suppose, for lack of any other better term. But my food, fresh out of the pan, can sit there for a quick second. We're going to do the sword fight. Good day, Vanyak.
So, can we get started?
What I will say is new to streaming the game is the audio crackling, but I've also never run it through my Voicemeeter program, so I'm not entirely sure if Voicemeeter might be the cause of the crackle or the game and OBS combined might be.
We can.
Good. And since today's the last time we'll be seeing each other, you can show me everything I've taught you so far.
Wasn't normally audio. But here we go.
Very well. Let's start with the
Oh,
basics.
I pressed 1, it auto-drew.
Keep moving. Your life depends on it. All right. Now try to hit me. You have to put your weight into your attack. If you just fiddle around, you'll get nowhere.
So-
Try slashing from different sides. Unpredictability is the key. Never repeat yourself.
You may notice there's different angles I can hold the weapon. There's a 5-pointed star here.
Nice. Fine. Good. Not bad. Very good. Nice. The point of the blade is for stabbing. Try it a few times.
Each of those direction hits from a different way. The
Good.
alternative attack is the jab. Now,
Not bad.
there's a hidden mechanic to sword fighting. Jab up aims for the head, and you can one-shot people if they don't have helmets
Good.
by
Good.
jabbing and
Let's try
aiming up.
something else. One strike I can fend off without a sweat. But if you chain your strikes, I'll have a much harder time. As soon as you land one blow, follow it with another. Very good.
The other thing that's not mentioned is you can switch sides and feint.
Good.
Of course, I'm going for pretty easy combos here, but I'm going to go for a right side, right side. So you can switch where it goes. The flow of the swing can carry through very nicely. Right, top right to bottom left, so on.
I don't know about you, but I'm tired and thirsty. Remember though, train hard. No one becomes a master swordsman overnight. You
Very
have to work
basics.
and work. And the main thing is to use what you've learned in real combat. There's nothing better than experience, believe me.
He doesn't go into blocking at all. He doesn't go into dodging at all. He just teaches you how to click and how to position your weapon on the 5-point axis, which are mechanics you can't see because in hardcore mode, the visual cues are disabled, which I think is fascinating. Even the block symbol, there's normally the cursor we've got in the center of the screen turns into a green shield when you can riposte, you can parry, and you can block. The green symbol is the perfect parry. That is deal damage and take none. But you can just regular block, which deals stamina, or you can take the hit, which if you're wearing armor, deals stamina as well. It's an interesting combat system, and a lot of people had complaints, but I do think it has its merits, and it is very well refined. It just takes a lot of learning.
May the Lord watch over you, Henry.
And there's the arbitrary hurdle that, so there's stairs. Well, I know. There's the arbitrary hurdle, which is Henry the character has to be trained, not just you learning the mechanics.
God save, my lovely. You're looking well today.
You too, handsome. What brings you here?
Oh, why not?
Your beauty, of course.
Oh, noble sir. I'm as honored as any simple maid can be. And apart from my beauty, what else might your worship desire?
The Dutch is saying stupid things. I can badmouth German. Of course I can. We would just grab a picture and we'll head home.
I need ale for father.
A pitcher as usual?
Aye. Bring the cool one from the cellar.
But of course. Here you are.
Thanks.
It's on me today. You can pay me back this evening.
Out of the question. Here you go. And this evening I'll have something more for you.
I can't wait.
Thanks. You'll have something to look forward to this evening.
You too. Oh, by the way, that shifty-looking fellow was asking after you.
Vaniak.
I suppose. He's a man who makes his coin robbing honest wayfarers. I'm sure of it. I'll be happy when he's gone for good. But what in heaven's name are you up to with him?
He promised to teach me how to use a sword.
What use would that be to you?
Enough. You sound just like father. I'll be going now. See you this evening.
Hal, I've got something special for you.
Is that so? Now what would that be?
Your favorite, Savior Schnapps.
Really? You're an angel.
I hope you'll thank me properly later.
You bet I will.
Fresh batch of Savior Schnapps. You know? Might even just use that now. I know that coming up is a fairly long cutscene, so I'll have my time to eat my dinner then, but I'm gonna drink a Savior Schnapps. We only had one left, so that actually helps us out a lot. We now have a save at the point where we are about to finish the sandbox mode and join the actual game. Oh. These three just waiting to use the well. I think they actually did put water in the bucket. That's impressive. It looked like there was water discoloring the wood. Could just be a texture trick, but I'm gonna be impressed. It looks so... I'm gonna turn preview off. I feel like the game is running okay. Worst case, I can bring it up as a preview on my phone. And in fact, I might just do that. But for the most part, it's running as good as it would perform regularly through OBS as it does just every day when I used to play this. So I can't complain. It's a bit janky, sure, but it's a lovable kind of jank. A bit more game-breaking kind of jank than Bethesda, at times, but still lovable. Leo? Father? About those things you wanted?
Yeah, about time. Have you got everything I wanted?
I have.
I have charcoal, the hilt, and the ale. We can start.
Good job. Let's have it then, son. Well done. Right. Let's see what kind of job the master in Sasau did for us. Look at that, lad. Well, that's what I call craftsmanship.
What does the inscription mean?
Damned if I know. Doesn't look like Czech to me. Latin, maybe? Lord Radzig ordered it. Oh, this will be the finest sword I've ever made. Have you got the charcoal? Good. Then fire up the forge. We'll put it all together. By the way, someone paid me a call. I reckon you might know what it was about.
I'm not sure.
Really? Because I'm pretty sure you and your friends threw dung at Deutsch's freshly whitewashed house. He was here with the catchpole earlier, and it was not a friendly visit. What got into you, Hal?
That Deutsch was talking treason in the tavern about Sigismund and the king. He got what he deserved.
Got what he deserved, did he? You can go and clean up the mess you made and apologise to him. I have a trade to run. The German pays well, and having my son in the pillory helps nothing and nobody, least of all the king. You understand?
Yes.
Look me in the eye, Henry. Do you understand?
I understand.
Good. Then we'll never have this conversation again.
So you think it's right to let traitors speak ill of our king?
The boy gets caught, making a fool of himself, and he still hasn't learned his lesson. So Deutsch spouts rubbish, and what? You turn into a common thug. You might win a fight with violence, but you'll never win an argument. Remember, Henry, if you want to convince someone that they're wrong, try using your mouth and not your fists.
The furnace is ready.
Right, we'll do the grip. I'll heat it up, and when I take it out, you slip the grip on so it fits exactly. You know what you're doing. Do it. Good. Once more. That's it. Done. Now file it down so it sits well in the hand. I'll prepare the guard.
Father, why did you leave Prague? Who ever heard of a master swordsmith making horseshoes in a village?
I had my reasons, Hal. And here I have your mother and you. Why would I want any other life?
Do you remember Emperor Charles?
I do. Life was good under his reign.
Better than now.
He built half of Prague and a score of castles, had a bridge made over the Moldau, and founded a university, and all without a war. He knew how to rule.
Better than Wenceslas.
Better by far. But Wenceslas doesn't have it easy. It's hard to step into the shoes of someone whose like is born only once 1,000 years.
What about Sigismund?
Do you think Charles would have brought an army down on his own people like Sigismund? No. Wenceslas may not be the equal of his father, but Sigismund, he brings shame to the royal name. How's it going? Give it here, and we'll put it all together.
That's magnificent.
Indeed it is. The Lord be with you. My father sent me for those nails.
Good day to you, Teresa. They're ready. Will you fetch them for me, Hal? They're in the trunk in the living room.
Joke's on you. I picked them up 10 hours ago. I have them in my pocket.
Here are those nails you wanted.
Thanks. So, how's Bianca?
Shut up, Dad.
She's fine. Why do you ask?
Just wondering, will you be going to the dance this evening?
We will.
Maybe we'll see each other there. Anyway, mustn't keep
That
you.
will
I'll be
do.
on my way.
Go and get those damn
That sword
nails.
is truly beautiful.
I will never not be amused by that. More cutscene, more eating.
Fine lass, eh? Now stop staring at her and come and see this. It's time for the trial by fire. We did a fine job.
I would expect nothing less from such a renowned swordsmith.
Well, those days are gone, sir.
You haven't lost your skills, though. Would you like to try it?
Sir, what good is a sword to a commoner?
Let him try it. You still have a lot to learn. Ask your father to show you how. He knows what he's about.
Learning his trade will serve him better in life, sir.
Perhaps. But who knows what the future holds for each of us. I see that you almost have it finished.
It just needs a polish, then Henry will bring it to you.
Excellent. Fine work, very fine. A sword such as this will bring honor to its bearer. What say you, Svan?
True, Sir Radzig. If I'd have had its like back in Nicopolis, things would have worked out differently. How odd to find such an accomplished swordsmith working in a place like this. A man of his talent would have no problem making a fortune in Prague or Vienna.
You're right. It's a very long and peculiar story.
I'd be glad to listen to it over a cup of wine, but duty calls, and I must leave. Here you are. Learn from your father. He truly is a master of his craft.
I'm sure our paths will cross again.
He certainly will.
Once it's ready, send your son up to me with it. Good work, Martin.
Sure.
It's been an honor, Sir Isvan. Have a safe journey to Sasau.
The honor is mine, Sir Radzig. Thank you for the hospitality.
A long, peculiar history.
That was a long time ago. I might tell you about it sometime, but not today.
Will you teach me how to use it, like Sir Radzig said?
Why?
Well, it could come in useful. Maybe I'll travel a bit before settling down. I'd like to know more than the tavern on the green and the forge.
You know the trouble with an adventurous life, son? It can end before it gets started. I might teach you how to handle a sword, and then someone will shoot you with a crossbow as soon as you set foot outside the house.
You talk as if you've seen it happen.
A man my age has seen a lot. Being a blacksmith might bring no glory, but it has its benefits, like keeping your head on your shoulders. I want to end my days in Skalitz, here, beneath the linden tree and by your mother's side.
Well, so do I, one day. But first, I'd like to see the world, meet new people.
Meet them or beat them?
Meet. You have to keep going on about it.
Then you've no need to learn swordplay.
A messenger.
He was in a hurry. What's happened? Take the sword, go into the house, and grab anything else important from the trunk. Go to the castle. Hurry!
What about you?
Your mother is in the village. I'll fetch her and we'll follow right behind.
I'll go with you.
No! You'll do what I say right now. Give the sword to Sir Radzig. If anything happens, he'll take care of you. He owes me.
Move! Come on, we're closing!
Move it, people!
Come on!
We're running
Come
out of
on!
time! Oh, Henry! Thank God! Get inside, quick! We have to shut the gates!
Keep running, people! Come on!
Mind this for me.
Are you mad? You can't go back! Ah.
Get through the gates!
Come on, Hal! You can still make it!
Run!
Find a horse! Ride to Talmberg! Tell them what's coming! Warn them!
Run by the moats! There's a path down there! Jump down from the wall and flee!
I do apologize. I wasn't sure if hitting the mute button would skip the cutscene, so I've been desperately trying to be as quiet as I can that entire time. It would have made more sense to hit mute before initiating. I'll remember that for future reference. Quest started. Run. I wonder what the objective is. Ride to Talmberg, get a horse. I'm so glad we got Hewed. If we didn't get Hewed, we would be winded way before this point. Wonder if the strength stat affects it. They look like good guys. Oh. Uh-oh. Janky parts kicking in. Thankfully, if you want to sprint away from the fight, the sprint button... Oh, okay, we died. The sprint button is the unlock from combat. Well, we did make a Savior Schnapps right at the end there for this exact purpose, because I did think we might lose the next fight coming up. And I would not watch the entire cutscene all over again. We know what happens. Tragedy. We'll jump straight to the next part, and I'll try and actually pick the correct path down. Up we go to the forge. I think there's 3 cutscenes in this piece.
About time. Have you got everything I wanted?
I have charcoal, the hilt, and the ale. We can start.
Good job.
I'm so used to
Let's have
narrating
it then,
these
son.
things, it's so weird
Well
not
done.
needing to.
Right. Let's see what kind of
I
job the
suppose the
master
second
has
time through I don't have
for
to
us.
worry about being too quiet either. Let's...
Look
And it
at
let me
that, lad.
test whether or not I can
That's
mute
like
during the
a
cutscene.
craftsmanship.
I can!
What does the inscription
Science.
Damned if
Does
I
that
know.
count as science?
Doesn't look
Does
like
now.
Czech to me. Latin, maybe? Lord Radzig ordered it. Oh, this will be the finest.
Okay. So we're up to giving the nails, which
Here are
I
those
have in my
nails you
pocket.
wanted.
Thanks. So, how's Bianca?
She's fine. Why do you ask?
Just wondering, will you be going to the dance this evening?
We will.
Maybe we'll see each other there. Anyway, mustn't keep you. I'll be on my way.
What are you waiting
That sword is truly beautiful.
I really love the heckling because we didn't go... There's like a dialogue marker for picking up the nails off the table. Because I picked them up before starting that. He gets angry I haven't gone to pick them up. We got Sir Radzig Koblier's sword. Take 2. I need to get down over there. Get a horse. Can I not go across there? Maybe not. Already got soldiers crawling all over the place. Oh bloody, I've sprained my ankle. Both left and right ankles have been sprained.
You pigs! Don't touch me, or I'll kill you! Go to hell, you tatum!
Yeah.
I don't know if that counted as helping. Hopefully it counted as helping. Welcome in, Tim. It's a stream with English accent. If so, pretty well done. It is a stream with me annoyingly talking. I got a double sprint. Okay. Oops. For Rovna. I only never came back to Rovna once in any of my other playthroughs. This place is desecrated and left abandoned, and it's very sad. It would be so nice if you could bring a bit of life back to Rovna with the quests you do in the area, but sadly not. Oh, okay.
Left. Talmberg is to the left, along the stream.
I am bleeding. Actually, I'm badly bleeding.
Run for it!
I'm on a horse. I think telling them to run for it's a bit late, but I appreciate this.
Yeah.
Horse is getting tired. He's gone.
Flee!
I'm sorry, guy. Oh, he's being left alone. Weave. We can weave. We can dodge arrows if we weave. Less predictably, more unpredictably. They're not actually drawing their bows. It's...
to Talmberg!
No, horse. If you give up, we both die.
Anyone?
Magdoglass.
Yeah.
That bleed out's gonna actually get me killed now. How far do we have to go? It's Talmberg. Coming up to the quarry, please. Please be passing the quarry. There's Talmberg. Okay. Never mind. I knew that's the moment that other arrow hit. I looked behind me too late. They draw their bows so quick. No checkpoint saves is such a sad moment. I really should have used the Savior Schnapps way back up at the forge, but I could have used it before we gave the nails to Teresa. That would have been the best option if I'd remembered that part was actually physically done, not just the cutscene. The next best option was assuming there wasn't an auto trigger for the cutscene when we got back to the forge in the first place, which is what I thought was going to happen. I thought we were going to walk up here and it would fade to black and start the cutscene for us, but we actually get to manually activate it. So this trek back up here is going to have to be done every time. How many Savior Schnapps do we... We have 5. Okay, so... There's an... Okay, it makes us tipsy. But we're just going to use a Savior Schnapps the moment we get control with the quest run.
Yeah, about time. Have you got everything I wanted?
I have charcoal, the hilt, and the ale. We can start.
Good job. Let's have it then, son. Well done. Right. Let's see what kind of job the master in Sasau did for us.
This is the first point we could have used Savior Schnapps. Is someone a little tipsy? What of it?
Here are those nails you wanted.
Thanks. So, how's Bianca?
Go and get those damn
she's
nails.
fine. Why do you ask?
Just wondering, will you be going to the dance this evening?
We will.
Maybe we'll see each other there. Anyway.
Oh, okay, I can skip. Next. Loading. And immediately, Savior Schnapps. There we go. I'm not doing this a third time. Is this the third time? I'm not doing this a fourth time. Might be a little tipsy running down the mountain, so hopefully we don't trip and die. Well, let me just casually stop to pick some nettle. Oh, that would be... Why am I already winded? Henry, you made it further than this last time we ran down.
Hey, don't touch me, or I'll kill
God,
you.
I'm flat-winded.
Go to hell, you Tatar beast!
Getty!
Right, not taking the hit there, getting on the horse, definitely helped us. The first hit setting us... I think the first hit set us bleeding. Then we took another hit after this cutscene here. I didn't actually look at my debuffs when I looked at this. Last time rather. I wonder if my horse will be any sturdier. We definitely need a hardy horse to make this run. Or I'm gonna have to juggle my... I'm gonna have to juggle sprinting and not sprinting a bit better perhaps, because I did sprint the whole way, and to be fair, horse almost made it from Skalitz to Tallenberg in one go. No?
I go like...
Oh, you bastard! That aim is so good. I know combat's meant to be trickier. Good lord, this stutter's so bad. I know combat is meant to be trickier, but this is a bit ridiculous. I'm bleeding again.
Left. Tallenberg is to the left, along the stream.
Magdug left. I go like...
Right, horse, I hope you recovered enough stamina there to keep going. I don't want to do this too many more times, even though we have another save. Sorry, guy. He's being left alone. That's nice. Maybe he'll be fine. It's so fast.
Run for it!
Horse started baying at about the same place. What we need to do...
Warn the others! They've tore at Skalitz!
We need to keep dodging arrows and keep this horse happy. Around this bit coming up. Oh, okay, the other horse is actually better. The other horse is better. Ooh, he got a shot off. There's Skalitz. Come on. Oh. Okay, that's bloody hard to do. We took a worse horse too that time.
Oh my god! Wait! Jesus Christ!
Why are the subtitles in Czech? Hungarian? Actually, no, it'd be Hungarian for them, wouldn't it?
Everyone, get your asses here!
Hey! And loose!
Let's see if I can fix it. We did it! Okay. Another silent cutscene. It's the intro. It's setting up the story, so I'll be back when the cutscene's over.
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages. Tell me, boy, who are you and where are you from? What in hell's name happened?
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the ground?
A huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tartars, you say? Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours.
I don't know.
Grit your teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that arrow out. Easy. All done. You were lucky, lad. The arrow missed the bone. It only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. Good as new.
Thank you.
Have you idlers nothing better to do? Get back to work. You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage?
Okay.
Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above Skalitz. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned Skalitz to the ground, but a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. And as I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund's. It said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army. Sacking Kuttenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
Skalitz is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle? I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. No one else can help us. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
As you command, sir.
Oh, right. Okay. We've made it. We're pretty safe here, bar the game crashing. And not have to redo this part of the game. I need a quick break because we're going to get more cutscenes. This is still the intro of the story. We're still setting up everything. Have a fair bit left to do yet before we're actually free to roam as Lord. Let's continue. How is everyone doing this evening?
Don't you start. Oh well, I wouldn't mind a bite to eat, actually.
No, sir. I checked. It seems everything is in order.
All right. But buy a couple of kegs of wine when you've done your other chores. Make sure it's good. No slop.
You can count on me, sir.
Is eavesdropping a crime in the Middle Ages? No, it might well be. So, Robard? I am a little peckish. I'll save the bread roll for later, I won't let you know.
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach.
Please tell me what happened in Skalitz. I have kin there.
I heard about your father. They say he was a swordsmith who moved to the countryside to make horseshoes. I'm sure he had his reasons. He had a fine reputation. It's a great loss.
Ah, milady. You're fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bozhena here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear, aren't you, young master? Here you are, then. Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the Outer Bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, yes. Thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, ma'am.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Right, well. Objective started 8. I could not have found a better quest myself. We are famished. I am not gonna lie. Very famished. Very, very famished. Super famished. Oh, I'm just so hungry. Oh, actually a feast. Was this all laid out for me? Do I get the wine too? Oh, I should probably eat before I actually pass out. Wouldn't that be my luck? I haven't saved yet. Lentil mash. Have a look. Nourishment 9. Roast duck nourishment 20. What weighs the most? The roast duck. It's all yours. Eat, lad. He did say that. I'm not being a pig. I'm just eating. No. Objective complete. Eat. Ah, this is the best game in the world. I'll take these for later. Just in case I feel peckish, you know? Can't be too careful. The wine. Oh, lovely. And here I thought they might have actually forgot the wine. Oh, that's a drink. That'll help me sleep. Speaking of, Henry is getting a bit drowsy. Alright, so we're gonna eat the bread because there's a bad bunch of bread in that mix. Food does go bad. I don't remember if the pile splits into spoiled or bad or what the half may get you, but there's tiers of quality to whether or not food is edible or not. You can get food poisoning, sickness, illnesses, ailments. I don't know if you could die from eating something purely rotten.
You're that lad from Skalitz? What in heaven's name happened there?
It's awful. Watch Rovna on their way. Apparently being tipsy is a negative to my heart crown thing. I'll go for the sword.
Sigismund's army appeared out of nowhere. There were so many of them, not just infantry, but cavalry too. Those foreign mercenaries with their strange helmets and the souls of beasts.
Heavens above.
I didn't make it.
I ran to the castle for shelter with the others. Behind me I could hear the shouts of the attackers and the screams of the wounded. Then I turned and saw Father trying to save Mother. They were both killed. The gate was closed by then. The men on the battlements were calling to me to run and warn you here. And with God's help I made it.
That's horrible. You were very fortunate to survive. And God bless you for warning us. I'll pray for you, lad.
Thank you, kind sir. I'm gonna get some sleep. Sleep until just before dawn or dawn? We'll go dawn.
Today the patrols will be doubled. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood? Yes, sir.
Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to, but to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you. But I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
Why does her lip sync seem so off? I can't put my finger on it. It's so weird looking. Tell the story.
You might be right, my lady. I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands.
I went to collect a debt.
A fellow by the name of Kunish owed money to Father, who sent me to collect it from him. Only Kunish had no intention of paying. It got a bit heated, as often happens when there's money involved, but Kunish still wouldn't cough up the coin. Father was too generous for his own good. letting even a scoundrel like that buy on credit.
Oh.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig.
I'd been secretly learning sword fighting.
I'd been secretly learning sword fighting and hiding it from my parents. So when we assembled the sword, I tried a few moves with it. There's a big difference between a wooden sword and a real one. Maybe if I hadn't taken that sword in my hand, I wouldn't be here today.
You're full of surprises.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town.
Huge horde.
A horde of soldiers was amassed. Pennants flapped in the wind, the armour glinted in the sunlight, and the horses whinnied impatiently. They were waiting for Sigismund to give the command to attack.
How awful.
And then death descended on Skalitz.
That would be
Father
foremost
told
on
me
your
to take
mind.
shelter in the castle while he went to get Mother. She was stranded in the town, surrounded by Sigismund's butchers. And then I saw him knocking down one Cuman after another. I never saw him fight like that. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour, saw Father and charged at him. He cut down my father without a thought. And then he turned on my mother. And he murdered her in cold blood.
You poor boy. May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle.
I ran for my life.
I ran as if my life depended on it, which it did. But my guardian angel watched over me and I made it to the mill below the castle.
It's as well you did. The Lord be praised.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I had Sir Radzig's sword, and even though there were several of them and they were better armed, I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped. And I succeeded, even though it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors he went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years. And was Havel punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
My lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep. I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, my lady.
Henry, wake up. You don't want to miss this.
What is it? What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
I really, really want to make another save here. Do we have a symbol that lets us know if the game is saved? And Subaru, welcome back. And welcome in. These story-based games always have massive, massive introductions to the world and the universe, but I do love them for it. Women in the Middle Ages. What a talk we had with the lady of the land. Okay. Run is the last save. Oh, I'm gonna brave it. We will get a save once all this is done, I'm sure of it. Pouring down with rain. The battlements. Okay, first things first, I'm getting rid of the preview because it is kind of stuttering and I want to get every single thing in my favor to get this game to run smoothly. It already runs janky. I've got possibly the best performance I think I could get for the visual quality out of the game at the moment. But I cannot save it from dropping frames occasionally and losing out here and there on a couple of random cutscene jitters and certain things like that.
Hey, you men down there. Tell the people outside the walls to prepare for attack. Quickly, do you understand?
Divish looks practically dry in this weather. So, Rabard? What's going on?
What's going on?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why would Sigismund advance on Talmberg and unite? Especially since he's lost the element of surprise after the raid on Skalitz.
Maybe it's not him.
Then who is it? The scouts Divish sent to Skalitz to spy on Sigismund said he'd set up camp and was getting ready to storm the castle. And so Radzig is an experienced soldier. He'd surely hold the castle for quite some time. It doesn't make sense.
What else did the spies see?
Not much of anything. Before they could get close enough, this huge storm started. And you were right. Sigismund has a hell of a lot of soldiers, including all manner of mercenaries. An army like that costs a fortune. Well, anyway, we'll find out when they get here, won't we?
Aye, we will.
Take care.
To be fair, I am pushing the game a fair bit. It is a very pretty game, and I'm taking advantage of that for sure.
Halt! Who goes there?
Lucifer and all his minions! Who else, Robert?
Sir Radzig! What a relief.
Is his lordship there with you?
Yes, sir. He is right here.
What are you doing up so late, Divish? At your age, you need a good night's sleep.
Well, Radzig, you didn't exactly pick the best time for an outing either. In a big hurry?
It was a bit of a scramble, all right. Believe it or not, this tempest is a godsend for me and my men. As my old granddad used to say, better a sore throat than a slit throat.
I'd say your grandfather was a wise man. Your messenger told us what happened.
Messenger?
The lad you sent to warn us.
He's alive? He made it to you?
He's here with me. He only got away by the skin of his teeth, though.
Thank God.
A brave young man. But tell me, friend, how on earth did you manage to get away?
Thank God for this tempest. When it began, Sigismund's Tatars crawled into their holes and left us storming the castle for more clement weather. We were able to sneak out right under their noses. The Lord be praised. We wouldn't have stood a chance against them.
Would you like to spend the night in Talmberg?
No, no. When Sigismund finds the castle empty tomorrow, he might come looking for us. We'd only be exposing you to danger. Without me and my men, he has no call to attack you.
What will you do then?
We'll march to Rattay. It's only a short way, and there we'll have a better chance of defense and enough room for all of these people. If Sigismund should come, better bend your knee, Divish. There's no point dying in a battle that's futile.
You're right there.
Is that boy still with you?
I'm here, sir.
You have courage, lad. That I can't deny. I am sorry about what happened. Would you care to join us?
I'd like to, sir, but first I have to return to Skalitz.
Are you mad? What do you want there?
I can't leave my mother and father. I won't leave their corpses rotting in the street. I'll join you once I've taken care of them.
Don't even think of going back there, you donkey. Are you tired of living?
But sir!
Quiet! I'm sorry about your father, but getting killed as well won't help him. Divish, make sure that lad doesn't budge from Talmberg until things quieten down.
Not to worry, friend. Anyway, he's injured and needs to recover. I'll lock him up here as if he were Havel of Baldic.
I've seen you've grown a thick skin since your tribulation, sir. But thank you. We'll meet again when circumstances are more favorable. Farewell.
Farewell, friend, and good fortune. Give my regards to Sir Hanush.
I will. And good luck to you and your people, too. These are dark times. Move out!
Anywhere, people!
Please tell me we gotta save. I'm just gonna have to use a savior schnapps. Right.
Men, tonight we'll have triple patrols. Sort out the watches between you as always. And if I catch anyone boozing, playing dice or slacking off, I'll personally break every bone in his body. I want you to keep a close eye on everything nearby. Sigismund will surely have sent spies, and likely men as well, to follow the Skalitz people now he knows they've fled. Keep your eyes peeled and report everything to me at once. Understood? Henry, I need to have a word with you.
You have help. Well, I don't... Okay, well, yeah, Henry.
What is it you need?
I could use an extra pair of eyes, and yours are keen. Will you keep watch on the battlements with my men?
Is that a request or an order?
I'd rather it was a request you answered yes to.
Of course I'll help. I'll have to pay you back somehow after all you've done for me.
Splendid. And don't worry, I'll tell the men to relieve you later.
Dave? I don't have a torch. I wish I could say that it looks less dim and grim and dark and gloomy on my screen, but unfortunately no. I'm almost certain that what you see is what I see. It will take maybe 5 degrees of shade watching on my phone, and it just looks the same. You can see the tree line in the top third of the screen. There's a glow on the rock on the left, and the house, if you squint, dead center below the cursor. And you might see the silhouettes of all the town a bit more when the lightning flashes.
Wandering around like a stray sheep must be your first watch, eh? I don't think anything much will be happening today. You can just lean against the wall and wait till morning. I'll show you what's what.
I will. Thank you.
I did as much wandering around as about a dead sheep. I just stared out this one window here. Wait till morning. Can I get a torch? Am I allowed to ask for a torch? I don't have a torch. It's raining. There's no cover. Hide here behind the wall. Well, that doesn't really help either. Morning, Chris. Tim, how are you doing this evening? We've got, speaking of waiting till morning, we've got half hour left before we'll be back on Valheim. Today. It's still pouring. I mean, it's only been an hour, but this weather is abysmal. Hey, look! There's the house. You can kind of see it a little better. A little better. Is that the house? Hang on. That's the house. That's the town. That's what I thought was the town, but now I can see it more clearly. No? Okay, that does look like the town. I see a lot more rooftops in the lightning flashes. Just starting your workday. Oh, it's only... hang on. It's Friday. Keeping track of what day it is. Me? Never. Board brain keeping track of anything. Ooh, that's weird. The water oddly didn't reflect the lightning at all. It was jet black. Is it where I am? Friday. I was about to say working on a Saturday, but then I realised it's not Saturday. What's that light down there? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna make a save here. Purely because the lighting is negatively affecting my frames. This is gonna probably suck, right? Maybe I should dump this down. Post-processing high. Particles physics will leave high. Depends if it's NVIDIA PhysX or if it's CPU CUDA stuff. Difference between that is 30 frames per second with my machine. If it's NVIDIA PhysX, we're cruising, we're fine. Shader quality very high. Shadow is very high. Texture's very high. Can we just go high for everything? And maybe we'll try this. Because I won't lie, I would like it to be a little smoother. I just don't trust CryEngine to give me that performance if I change all these settings down. But we'll see. Those settings were my playing by myself solo offline stuff. I tweaked it to basically be the best looking I could possibly get out of my machine. But how does that? Are we a bit like once it stops buffering, are we a little closer to 30 consistently? I think so. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm gonna go back to my spot. I like my spot. If I have to stand out in the rain, I'm doing it at my spot. And this is my spot. That's the yeast. Right there. Judging by the lighting and the way it's being cast. Although in this weather, hard to tell. But I'm making a call. That's east. That's south. I may be wrong here. Without the compass, I'm actually gonna have to keep track of where I'm heading. You have a long day at work today, Chris. You can almost see the sun staring through the clouds. With a nice crimson shade of red. I think the frames honestly had picked up. I'm going to stick with this. It doesn't look bad still. It looks quite nice. 8 hours to go. Pardon me. I caught it. East. Twin 4090s? Oh, with this game, I don't think it would make a difference. I won't lie. CryEngine and the fact some of the places on this map, and the battles too, oh my lord, there's large-scale battles in this game that are visually and honestly still are impressive, even with the 12 FPS you get. You watch everyone swinging their sword at 12 FPS, but there's 100 people in front of you, and it is just a spectacle. I can't deny 12 FPS doesn't ruin the fact that that is never done, ever. If you, like, the closest I've ever seen was games like Assassin's Creed, but there was like 6 people around you and the rest were just sort of cosmetic animations. The fight was 6 people in Assassin's Creed. This actually has like 100 people, archers on the battlements, soldiers in front of you, people blocking your way in. You've got archers on your side, you've got cavalry coming in. Oh, it's such a beautiful, gorgeous vista. What's going on?
Let's go! Move it! Go!
What's going on? It is a beautiful vista, but you need a Ferrari to play this game smoothly at 60 FPS. even if you do have a Ferrari of a computer, it may still just simply run a little trash. It's janky and I love it, but it does look gorgeous. Looks awesome in PowerPoint is probably a good way to say it. But look at these cutscenes though. And when the game is smooth, it's so gorgeous.
We're gonna head up like scallops.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners.
See how the self-appointed king wins the love and respect of his loyal subjects.
Indeed, Robard. Sigismund of Luxembourg has a rare talent for winning people over to his cause. You may be in for a surprise, though. I don't think he will set his heathen dogs on us today.
Greetings, Lord of Talmberg.
That's the bastard who led the attack at Skalitz and killed my parents.
Don't be an idiot. Do you want to end up like them?
I am Sir Markwart von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia, who has resolved to strike against those who disrupt concord in the land and to restore order in the name of his brother, King Wenceslaus IV.
Restore order by burning and pillaging the king's estates.
Greetings, Sir Markwart. The efforts of the king's brother to bring order to this chaotic land are undoubtedly noble. It seems to me, though, that he and his army have somewhat strayed. As Burgrave of Prague Castle, I am entirely beholden to the king, and here in Talmberg divine peace reigned until your arrival. To what then do we owe the honor of your visit?
Yesterday, His Majesty took action against the enemy of the kingdom, Sir Radzig Kobyla, who has been using the silver from the Skalitz mine to fund insurrection against the crown. Unfortunately, the insurgent escaped. Would you happen to know, noble sir, where he might be at this time?
As far as I know, the Sir Radzig of which you speak is the king's hetman at Skalitz. I find it hard to imagine that he would rebel against our king. Nevertheless, I can assure you that Sir Radzig is not at Talmberg. He would be a fool indeed to flee from one castle, where he has little chance of defense, to another, where he has even less. Or do you take the view that my humble manner is any obstacle to your army?
Am I to inform the king then that Sir Radzig Kobyla is not at Talmberg and that he has your loyalty?
Sir Radzig Kobyla is not here, and I have no intentions of getting embroiled in affairs from which I have nothing to gain.
Very well, sir. As you wish. I will relay your words to the king in the hope he will be as well disposed as you seem to be.
Those who have clean consciences and goodwill may find themselves well disposed even at moments like this, when there is little cause for joy. Farewell, sir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Heated conversation. Such a good performance. Love this game.
My lord, you have my utmost admiration.
Get on with you, Robard.
Out of all the compulsory cutscenes, that's my favorite. I mean, it's not compulsory, it's the introduction to the story. Look, that's my favorite. Right? We have frame dropping, but we also have about 3 dozen people here. Like I said, no matter what your settings are or what your hardware is, you'll probably drop frames in this game. It has terrible trouble cutting between first-person and third-person camera. Those are the times where I absolutely drop the most frames. But massive crowds are something they strived for, which is why I think they chose CryEngine. But something they sometimes struggle with. They do fairly well. I mean, think each one of these people has at least a simple AI telling them to go back to post, or perhaps a complex AI with a schedule. And yet, it doesn't do too bad. A couple of frame drops before it clears up and handles itself quite well, I can live with. It's the jank I can deal with. The jank I can't deal with is getting stuck on terrain, which this game does have too. I don't particularly know. I am following Sir Robard. But to what end?
My respects to you.
Do you know why? Do we know anything? Let me catch up. I might have missed a few messages really quick. We're not on a timer here, so just CryEngine things, right? I never actually played the Crysis games back in the day. Were they just as bad? I know Crysis games were a power hog, but when I heard of Crysis games, I heard of them touted as a game that you needed a jet engine to play, but when you had the jet engine, it was beautiful. Is that the case? Like, even after all this time? Or was CryEngine still known even back then for sometimes slipping up and doing something weird, dropping a few frames, doing a little hiccup? Because it absolutely has its drawbacks here. But I do think the scope of this compared to the original Crysis games are completely different. I mean, for heaven's sake, I don't know if you can see it through the fuzz of the fade, let alone the stream compressing the resolution, but I can see those trees on the hill behind me waving in the wind. I do genuinely think, like, the scope of this is impressive alone, let alone it holding together onto CryEngine, which probably is a feat they got it to run as well as they did. If you want to see it run terribly, we could go over to Sasau, because that place runs like absolute turd. I saw... Okay, you laugh at the stupid size of the 4090. I saw a photo the other day that had a graphics card, and it said, compared to an Xbox One S, I thought it was just like a joke. I didn't think that was real. Is that a real photo? The 4090 is comparable in size to the Xbox One S. I mean, that's a small form computer in and of itself at that point. The army snuck close on my watch. Terrible sentry. I was on the south port, okay? I wasn't watching the north. They hit us from the north. That was not my watch. I take no claim in that. Legit card kidder. The 4090 is bigger than the XSS. Wow. So that photo was legitimately real. That's kind of horrifying. It's 1250. Good lord. Oh my lord. Okay. We're gonna have to... Sorry. I went to cough and all that came out was a wheeze. We're gonna have to round up, and I still don't think we're done with the start of the game. No. No. We're done with the start of the game the moment we get to Rattay. Once we're in Rattay, the game begins. It's such a massive intro. And I will say, once you're out of all of these set pieces and massive giant vistas where they're trying to show off all this stuff that they can do, it does get a little bit better performance-wise because the game is an open world. I would kind of say action RPG, but more of a traditional RPG in the sense that in the same way when you play an old tabletop-based RPG, you have to level your character up. Doesn't matter how good you play the game, you have to level your character up. Same thing applies here. Henry's, well, bit of a klutz. He's barely come of age. Doesn't know what to do with himself. Never wielded a sword more than twice. And we have to take him and forge him into something that's actually going to be able to survive out in the world. I digress. We have 8 minutes left now. Why did Sigismund raid Skalitz? I would like to know if they have any clue why.
Why did Sigismund burn down Skalitz and then come here too?
That's war for you, lad. Certain lords have resolved to take
Ooh,
things into
sorry,
their own
I missed
hands
that last
and
two.
eliminate
I'll give me a
anyone
sec,
who
I'll pimp
doesn't
you
share
in a
their
bit.
view. Unfortunately, Sir Radzig is one of those. And what's more, he was sitting on a pile of silver that could help King Wenceslas's allies.
We're out of dialogue. Let me do it now. Can I just go like this? Follow, whisper, give this submit. Confirm. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090 confirms rumors about its colossal size. Is there a reason for it to be this size? It's one of those things, isn't it, where it's a weird PR angle that they've gone for, where the card is the same, it's all just calling. It's gonna... I don't know if that's the actual card, or if I'm staring at two giant calling blocks. What are those calling blocks called? I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Nowadays you have vents and pipes. I've not seen a cooling block. You used to have radiators. The radiators. It looks like a solid form radiator. That could just be the card itself though. Photo doesn't really explain. The fan attached. That's the whole card. That's not the cooling system. I don't know what cooling system it would even have. That's the whole card. That is massive. You need a PC case just to house the graphics card. A separate PC case to put everything else. You'll just get some extra long cables, sit it on top, call it a day. Requires huge power draw, so lots of cooling. What's the power draw? I mean, the largest I've ever seen was a 1250 watt PSU. But what sort of, like, there's a point in technology where I do wonder if it's excess for excess's sake. I thought the same thing with the i9, where they just kept adding more stuff instead of refining the stuff they had. Shit, Blue Ops is in Valheim already. They were talking 850 watt minimum total, or draw on the unit alone? Draw on the unit alone makes it sound like you're going to need a 1400 watt or a 1250 watt PSU. If that's total, it's not so bad. Okay. Apparently Blue Wolves is in Valheim right now. 5 minutes until 1. He's beat us to the punch. So we're going to rush through a bit more story. Once we're out of this dialogue, I know we have training. Oi, okay. Calm down. We have 5 minutes. Do we know what Sigismund is after, besides...
What happened in Kuttenberg?
Gutenberg. Well, I'm just a simple soldier, but the good Lord gave me ears, and I've heard some things from Sir Divish and from those who fled from Sigismund's pillaging.
Were there many?
Indeed, but it was the Kuttenberg mercenaries who came to see me, because I knew them from before.
I see.
Listen, lad, these are all games of the high aristocracy. In Prague, a cabal of nobles rebelled against King Wenceslas, wealthy aristocrats who took against our king for reasons of their own. There's no doubt Sigismund had his fingers in the whole affair, him and Wenceslas's cousin Jobst. And that cabal helped him abduct the king.
So then why did Sigismund attack Kuttenberg?
Why do you think?
He had a I don't know. Or the loot. Henry picked dumb answer.
So he could loot it?
Correct. King Charles, may God grant him eternal glory,
Oh.
built Prague into a
was
proper
right.
royal city, while King Wenceslas took a liking to Kuttenberg. After Prague, it's the most important city in Bohemia, in the entire Holy Roman Empire. He who commands the Kuttenberg silver is king.
So Kuttenberg sided with Wenceslas because he favoured it?
Now you're starting to understand. When Sigismund imprisoned Wenceslas and took control of Prague, the people of Kuttenberg began to raise an army against him. So with the attack on Kuttenberg, Sigismund killed 2 birds with 1 stone. He defeated Wenceslas's most powerful allies before they could stand against him, and also gained immense wealth.
I do have to get to Skalitz.
So Robard, I need to get to Skalitz.
What would you do there, lad? Sigismund might have left, but the place will be swamped with robber barons, brigands, deserters, and other vermin. And anyway, your lord commanded you to stay here.
Me up before I lose my temper, not against the captain of the guard. If you were in my shoes, you'd do the same. I will appeal to his good nature.
So Robard, my parents died there. I can't leave them to be eaten by dogs. What would you do in my place?
Sorry, lad, but I won't take orders. You'll have to wait until everything settles down, and maybe your lord will change his mind.
Oh, damn it. Alright. Well, good day. I am gonna save and quit. Because we have 2 minutes left. I'm gonna be joining Blue Wolves over in Valheim. Give me a couple of seconds just to get up, stretch my legs, and we'll come back and we'll jump straight into it. But until then, I will be back in about 5 minutes. Oh, I had recommended the 1200 watt for that version of the 4090. Is that... what are they called? Aftermarket coolers? Good lord. So it's all just the cooling. The whole cooling kit is what's demanding the power draw? That's just crazy to me. Caps lock, go away. I need to go to the restroom. I need to type properly so that I can pick Valheim as a category. But I will be back in a second. No more than 5, perhaps 10 minutes. If I'm not back in 15, someone go let Blue Wolves know. But hopefully I'll be over there with him. If you want to go see from his perspective, there's the shout out to his Twitch channel. Or we have the multi-stream link where you can watch both perspectives at the same time. Unfortunately, it's third-party integration, so it does lose a lot of the feature set you get here. But I'll be back as soon as I can. I'm just going to stretch my legs and head to the restroom, and then we load up Valheim. Hopefully not for another 12 hours. Hopefully not for another 12 hours. Same. Be back in a second. Go anywhere.